This thing behind us is our 2006 Goldstream RV pop-top caravan, which we live full-time in as we travel around Australia.
Yeah, so being an 18-year-old van, it does have its quirks and stuff like that, but we absolutely love it. We basically just wanted to jump on here and show you that you can travel around Australia in an older caravan. This one hasn't been renovated or restored or anything like that. It is 18 years old. There's been a few little tweaks that previous owners have made.
We haven't done anything.
No, there's a few things that I'd like to do though. We're going to run through the outside of the van, the inside of the van, show you the pros and cons, show you everything that we can about the van.
I, however, have to go to work.
Yes. So I'm sorry if you have been watching this channel for a long time. Jess won't be part of this episode again other than this. You might see her at the end when she gets home from work. But
maybe.
Yeah.
Depends how good a day it was.
Yeah, that's true. But otherwise you're going to be stuck with me for another episode, but I'll try to cover off as much as I can about the van for you. And yeah.
You might see me in snippets if he's missed something that I wanted him to discuss.
So there'll be little bits jotted in here and there. That'll be Jess's contribution. Anyways, we're going to drop Jess off at work. I'm going to get back and get sorted and get into filming for you guys.
Bye for now.
Alright, getting straight on into it. We're going to start around on what is the passenger side of the caravan and going to jump straight into what is probably the most obvious thing, the awning. Or the lack of awning. So as you can probably see, or if you do follow us on Instagram, you would have already noticed that that got destroyed. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a windy afternoon, windy day, and we had it out. So we actually went outside to put it away. And as we had it in our hands, a big gust of wind came through and ripped it clean off. So unfortunately, we do have to get that repaired. If you know any companies in Perth or Perth area, Southern WA area, please drop them down in the comments below because we do want to get that fixed before we get too far along the road. All right, we're going to go straight around to the back of the van because it's just the easiest way to do it. Plastic PVC pipe, lockable. It's got our anti-flap kit as well as the curvy bar for the awning, which obviously at the moment we don't need. Water, diesel, bin bag, all that sort of jazz. We've got a tap around there as well. So we do try to avoid driving with them filled up, just because it adds extra weight to the rear end of the van, and if you've got too much weight behind the axles, it will cause sway of the van when you're driving. So we only top those up when we're going remote or doing a bit of extra travel or anything like that. But it is always nice to have them as a bit of an extra backup, just in case. Around the driver's side, this one here is just a little storage box, not anything too special. I don't remember which key it is. So it's just got the drill, blower vac, and all that tent pegs and that sort of gear in there. So nothing special, just a nice little hidey hole to store things. 2 water tanks on board, so one full fill point here, one fill point just down around there, as well as the mains connection point. The mains connection point is actually leaking at the moment, so that's why we're not plugged into water there. So I will get around to getting that fixed. Water tanks, we think they're 2 75 litre tanks, so 150 litres all up, which is ample realistically for us for 2 people. We can stretch that out to sort of 7 to 10 days without any dramas or anything like that. But if we do know that we're going to be going that long or that far, we will fill that jerry can on the back just to give us an extra 20 litres. So nothing too special. Wheels, so they're just 15-inch Steelies, nothing too special about them. Realistically though, I wouldn't mind switching them out to alloys just to save us a bit of weight and that sort of thing. That's about it for the passenger side, realistically. Nothing too special. Oh, so obviously we've got pop top with the canvas. Now the actual canvas itself is in decent condition, but you'll see that these fly screens have they've peeled off. So they're actually the windows for the just airflow at the top of the pop top to go and let some sunlight and air through to the van. The ones on the other side of the van are fine. The ones this side, yeah, they're ripped. So again, if you know a company that either fixes them or replaces the whole canvas and fly screen area, just pop it in the comments because we do want to get that fixed or replaced at some point. Around the front of the van, nothing too special. We carry 2 4.5 kilo gas bottles. One's just down on the ground at the moment. I'll explain why in a second. We don't need much gas, so Our fridge is a two-way fridge, not a three-way fridge, so we don't have to worry about the gas for that. So realistically, all that does is the 4-burner cooktop on the inside of the van. So nothing special there. There used to be, by the looks of it, a toolbox on the front. I think that got removed by one of the previous owners, which is a bit of a bugger, because I wouldn't mind having a toolbox on there. Would make life a lot easier, just because at the moment everything kind of gets thrown into that front boot area and it's a bit of a mess. So toolbox there would be nice. As for the actual drawbar itself, it is an extended drawbar, so you can see it's actually quite long, which makes life a lot simpler for us when we're towing, when we're trying to get in and out of sites or in and out of tracks or anything like that. So if you do have the option to get an extended drawbar on either a new van, or if you're looking at a second-hand van like this, try to find one with a extended drawbar. So much easier, so much simpler. Yeah, we've never jackknifed, we've never had it cause damage to the car or anything like that. So if you can, try to find something with an extended drawbar. In this boot area, I don't know if the lighting's going to be any good. Hoses, leveling ramps. This one here, if I can get it out, has our privacy screen and awning gear, but obviously at the moment we can't use that. Now, 12-volt system. So everybody always gets curious about 12-volt and what batteries you run and what solar you've got and all that sort of thing. I'll just show you. It's rather entertaining. Tiny little 400-watt inverter. Let's see if I can get the camera in here. That's the solar system, and that's the battery. So I'll take the top off. It's normally strapped up, but I've taken the strap off just to show you. So as you can see, it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. That is 105 amp hour AGM battery, and that's it. So there is nothing special about our battery and solar system at all. Solar system, there's just one panel up on the roof, which I can't show you at the moment, so I'll get a clip of that and I'll dub it over the top of here. It makes do. Like, we can't run the inverter unless we've got direct sun over the top of the van, because otherwise it'll just kill the battery in no time. And again, going back to the fridge, with the fridge being a two-way fridge, if we're off grid, it's just constant 12-volt fridge. So it's always going to be using the battery up and that sort of thing. And being 105 amp hours doesn't last very long. If we have more than one day of cloud, we've got no battery. So we definitely want to upgrade the battery system. It's more just a case of, well, finances for one, because none of that sort of stuff's cheap, but we don't want to over-capitalise either, because we don't know how long we'll have this van. We want to have it for a long time, but if we decide in 6 months' time to upgrade a van or something like that, which won't happen, we don't want to have thrown all our money at the 12-volt system, because you'll never get that back. You'll never get the money back that you spend on a 12-volt. But we still make do. We still make do. We do have, I think it's just down there on the ground at the moment, we've got just a King's panel, which we can plug in and just top up additional solar if we need to, or when we can, when the sun's out. We don't have an external kitchen, so we've just got the good old Coleman cooker, which is why the gas bottle's out. Yeah, we cook outside when we can, and we quite often do it, but we don't have any worries about cooking inside either. We love cooking inside. This one here, it's just a little fold-out table. So we'll normally put the cooker up on that. If we can't be bothered getting the table out or anything, we'll just chuck it up on there. Power out, pretty standard when we're on 12-volt. When we're on 240-volt in a caravan park like we are at the moment, we've got power outside if we need it. So realistically, there's nothing to it. It's a very simple van, very basic van. But that's how we like it. That's what we want. The simpler, the easier, the better, because then we can take it wherever we want. Suspension wise, so I'll just pop this back away. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see, but we're going to get down under the van here. Under here, you'll notice it's a solid axle leaf spring suspension setup. From my understanding and the paperwork that I can find, this van actually came with independent suspension from factory, and the previous owner to us decided it was a good idea to take that out and put that gear in instead. We do have the paperwork for it, and the plate has been stamped, mod plate has been stamped to show that it's changed from independent suspension to what is in there now. His reasoning for it was he reckons it was going to be easier to maintain and fix on the road if something was to go wrong. And I think he actually gained about, I think it was about 100 kilos of payload additional to the van. So we're not going to complain at that. I think that's probably about it for outside, because yeah, it's not. Oh, yeah, no, that's probably about it for outside. But again, if I have missed something on the outside, if you are curious about something, if you want to know anything, if you've got any queries, any questions, anything, please pop them down in the comments below, because we always go through and answer all of that sort of gear. But as for now, I think it's time to have a look around on the inside of the van. Who are we kidding? This van never, ever looks this clean. I just spent a very long time trying to get this van to look like this, but it's not realistic, and we live in here full time. So we're always open and honest and transparent as possible with you guys. We'll show you what this van normally looks like. Like I said, we're in the van full time. There's always going to be things around the place and all that sort of stuff. So now we'll show you the realistic side of how a van normally looks. There's always something on the stove. It's usually coffee related. There's always dishes. There's always something plugged in. This time it's a laptop on the go. Jess has this little hidey hole up there, and another one down here, and a pair of shoes. She's always got a pair of shoes on the floor for some reason, who knows why. Exercise mat. Bed, well look, it's made-ish. We never really spend too much time on it. This side's mine. Down there is what's called the floor drobe. Yes, floor drobe. So that's for clothes that are not clean enough to go back in the cupboard, but they're not dirty enough to need washing. So they just end up on the floor until I decide they're dirty and put them in the wash anyway. Bench, look, there's always things just randomly strewn around the place, and this is just realistic life of living in a van. It is never spotless. There is not a time where everything is put away, and if it is, something else gets pulled out straight away. So that's just realistic. Anyways, we'll show you around the van on the inside, starting with the kitchen end, and we'll show you one of my favourite things to kick it off, which is actually just this one here. Pull out spice rack. So I know it's simple, I know it's basic, whatever, but that's actually one of my favourites, just due to the simple fact that everything's easy to grab. It's all labelled, it's all just right there in one place. And if we are cooking outside, it's just next to the door. So you just open up the door, open that, take whatever spices you want on the outside. Kitchen, very, very self-explanatory. 4-burner gas stove. It's just exactly that, it's a stove. Grill. We use the stove all the time. We cook inside. Whenever we don't want to cook outside, can't be bothered, too wet, too windy, whatever it may be, we cook inside. We have no dramas with it. The grill, however, we've never used. We've never used the grill. Sink, it's a sink. I do find it quite comical because it has a hot water, cold water mixer tap on it, but we don't have a hot water system in this van. So anytime we do want to wash some dishes or anything like that, we boil the kettle and then we've got hot water. So that's that. Like I said, there's always dishes. That's part and parcel of it. This down here, just get this out of the way, is what we call the pit of despair. It's just a random storage hole. So we've got all the cleaning chemicals and all that sort of gear in there. We've got this grab me gear bag, which has all our clothes in it, like dirty clothes in it. So we use that for just to store all our dirty clothes. Bang. But yeah, pit of despair. It's quite deep, so there is a lot of random stuff thrown into the bottom of that we can probably go through and get rid of, to be honest. But hey, it's there. We'll sort through it one day. Second favourite cupboard for me, that one, because it's the coffee cupboard. Can't start my day without a coffee. Always got to have my coffee. That one, random storage. That's where our kettle and stuff goes. This one, super just random stuff. So tea towels, oven mitts, extra random spices that we got nowhere else to go. That one, that's just all electricals. So normally all the charging cables and camera and all that stuff lives in there. But at the moment it's all out because we use it all on a daily basis. Now, you might see us wear the same clothes pretty often, pretty regularly. Well, that's because we live in the caravan and we haven't got much storage for clothes. This one here, I won't open it, but that's literally clothes. That's Jess's side, my side. But that's all the room we actually have for clothes. We have to be a little bit careful in regards to that sort of stuff because it's just weight. But general rule of thumb, we don't have a lot of cold weather gear because we're always chasing the sun, so we don't really need huge amounts of cold weather gear. We do have a little bit stashed under the bed, but yeah, generally speaking, we try to keep it pretty light on. We go to op shops, we drop a lot of clothes in at op shops and try to get some cheap clothes on the way out. So that's how we sort of try to turn some clothes over when we can. What else we got? Oh, we got the bed. So that's the bed. Obviously, we do have underbed storage as well. Nothing too exciting, to be honest. A couple of North Storm dry bags, which we love. That black bag at the top's got a couple of bits of clothes in it. Shoes, boxes for electrical stuff, 12-volt battery fan so that we can actually stay cool if it is too hot. Back in the corner there is the Truma reverse cycle thing, air conditioner, heater. Only works on 240. So if we're in a caravan park like we are at the moment, we can run the air conditioner, we can run the heater, all that sort of jazz. But otherwise, when we're out off grid, it's just nothing. We can't use it. So if we do get cold, we get cold. We don't have a diesel heater either. So that's it. That's all we have. We get cold, we put extra clothes on, we get hot. Try and find somewhere to go for a swim. It's about the only way that we can do it. And we're not complaining at that. We like it that way. We have looked at getting a diesel heater. They're not that expensive and they're pretty easy to install, but we just kind of figure if we're chasing the sun, there's no real point in putting a diesel heater in. Just doesn't make sense to me, really. What else? So otherwise you just got your extra drawer, extra cupboard. I actually don't know what's down in that one at the moment. Oh, actually, yes, I do. More coffee. So it's just more storage. More cupboards there, which again is just more storage. Now, the fridge, I did touch on just before. Two-way fridge. So it's 12 volt and 240 volt, no gas. 60 litre Waco, I believe. It's not the original one. It has been replaced at some point. So I don't actually know how old it is. But again, it works, keeps everything cold. Depending on what the weather's doing, our 12 volt system usually makes it through the night with enough battery to keep the fridge running, but we've had quite a few times where the battery just isn't enough and it does unfortunately die overnight, which is a massive pain in the bum. When I was talking about outside before with the canvas, so that one there and that one there, these two zip sections here, that's where the ripped fly screen is. So unfortunately they're the ones that we can't open, otherwise we just get completely inundated with bugs and that sort of stuff, which is a shame because it would be nice to have all of them open just to get that extra additional airflow through and a bit of extra sunlight through the place. Under the chairs there is of course storage under this one, storage under that one. The water pump is under there as well, so that takes up a little bit of room, but it's not anything special. Back to the kitchen. Fry pans. Cover your lids with tea towels when you're driving. It stops them from smashing. And just cupboard of plates and stuff. That's just like a non-slip. Nothing special. I don't know what else there is, to be honest. It's really quite a basic van inside and out, and to be honest, that's how we love it. Oh, I just thought of one more thing. So these ones up here, damp rid, they are an absolute must in any caravan, but especially in a pop top. We do get a bit of moisture and a bit of condensation and that sort of thing in here, and they sort it all out straight away. No dramas. We've got the refillable ones, so when it's finished doing its thing, you can just go to the toilets and you can actually flush it down the toilet and then refill it, and you're good to go. I'm sure some of you are going to ask, we do have a toilet. We do have a portable toilet. I just didn't want it in here for the sake of the video, but normally it just sits in here on the ground if we're in need of it. If we are off-grid and remote, we actually put the toilet outside. We have an ensuite tent and that we use. It's just a bit more private and a bit nicer than sitting inside and going to the toilet. But hey, that's all part and parcel of life on the road. You've got to do what you've got to do when you've got to do it. Shower-wise, we don't have an ensuite. We don't have a bathroom inside, so we just do it outside. We shower outside. We've got that tap on the back drawbar of the caravan. We just hook a hose onto there with a shower head attachment, and if there's nobody around, well, you're good to go as it is. We don't mind doing that. Otherwise, we'll just pop the shower tent out, have a cold shower, go from there, because again, we chase the sun. Cold showers are actually quite refreshing. We're not missing out. We don't feel like we're missing out on a hot shower there. If it's one of those places where you're not allowed to have a shower outside, because some people, you have to be self-contained in the sense of no grey water on the ground or anything like that, we do the good old wet wipe shower, which is, again, fine. It is what it is. We come away from it clean, so that's just part and parcel of life. Look, to be honest, I think that's probably about it. Like I was saying before, basic, simple van. It's easy, it's low maintenance. What are we? Fully loaded, we're 1800, and length 17-foot van. From back end to end, like from drawbar to tow bar sort of situation, we sit in at 23 foot, so it's a 17-foot van, but with the extended drawbar, 23 foot overall. And look, it's taken us everywhere we've wanted it to go. We've taken it places that it probably shouldn't go on, and that's okay. We're going to take it more places that it probably doesn't want to go, and we will love every second of it. We're probably going to do the Gib later this year, and at the moment we're 90% sure we're going to take it across the Gib. So we have fun with it. Anyways, that's probably enough from me, just rambling and ranting along. Look who's home from work.
Me!
Well done.
Yeah, today was alright. It was a bit of a meh day.
Well, that's better than a bad day.
True.
Now, you looked at some of the stuff I recorded earlier and I forgot something of vital importance.
Yeah, my favourite cupboard.
Your favourite cupboard, which is the...
snacks cupboard.
Yeah, snacks cupboard, food cupboard, pantry cupboard. So it's basically just got all the pantry stuff and a giant pumpkin in there for some reason.
Yeah, you were meant to cook pumpkin soup.
Yeah, I'll do it tomorrow. Anyway. Right, so overall thoughts of our 18-year-old Goldstream van.
I like it.
Good.
It's us.
Yep.
It's got character.
Yep. Solid. Built solid.
Yeah.
Full disclosure wise, 20 grand. So about 12 months ago we paid just over 20 grand for this one, which is still a lot of money, but compared to other vans that cost 120 grand, we're pretty bloody happy with it. Yep. It's gone everywhere we need it to go or wanted it to go. It's going to go more places where it just feels structurally solid and sound. It's not leaking.
And if anything breaks, Alan can fix it.
Yeah, it's basic, simple stuff. You know, there's nothing overly complicated about it. It's built simply, which is really, really good.
Yes.
What else we got? Would you have a shower? Would you have an ensuite? If we were to change vans, would you go an ensuite van? It's something that we've toyed up with for a very, very long time. Like prior to coming into this van, we actually said that we're only going to buy a van if it's got an ensuite, and then we bought this, which doesn't.
I think if we were to go an ensuite van, it would purely be to fully satisfy the self-contained campgrounds.
Yeah, fair enough. There's been a little bit of a shift over the last couple of years in regards to what's classed as self-contained now. Previously, you just used to have a toilet on board, which we do, but we've been to a few places now that actually stipulate in their rules you have to have a toilet and shower in the van from manufacturer. Plumbed in from manufacturer, so you can't have a portable toilet in your caravan, even though it's the same thing. But yeah, no, look, I probably wouldn't go an ensuite van. Like if somebody said, here's an ensuite van, of course I'm going to take it. But I think we probably wouldn't use the shower as much as we potentially think we would.
I also wouldn't do a pop top with a ensuite.
With the shower, yeah. Too mouldy, steamy. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's probably going to end this video off.
I think so.
Hope you've all enjoyed watching. If you do have any comments, questions, queries, disagreements, anything like that, pop them in the comments down below and one of us will go through it all and comment back to you, good, bad or otherwise.
Pretty much, yeah.
Anyways, please make sure to give the video a like and subscribe. We're going to go watch sunset down the beach.
Yes. Bye for now.
See you guys.